Hi, everybody. This is Dale and Shirley Guiducci with LifestyleOver50.com. And we wanted to come to you and just share with you another camping trip we just took to Fort De Soto Park Campground in, what is it, Tierra Verde, Florida. Let's call it St. Petersburg because it's right down below St. Petersburg, Florida, on the very, very tip of land before you go across the Tampa Bay. Absolutely beautiful, wouldn't you say?
It was pretty amazing. My initial thought, though, when I got there was we have been to State Park. And this Fort De Soto is a county park. So when we started walking around a little bit, I'm like, wow, okay, it doesn't seem like was as well maintained as a state park. Just really, it was the trees. Like they hadn't been trimmed and there was brush and stuff like that. But after that point, it was pretty amazing.
Yeah, it was absolutely beautiful. And but what was interesting when we got there, and one thing you should do if you're going to be camping, I guess anywhere, but certainly in Florida, is check the weather forecast.
Big time.
Now, we did check the weather forecast, and it said it was going to rain. But if you live in Florida, as we do, it rains a lot in the afternoon during the summer. And it comes down for about an hour, 45 minutes or whatever, and then it goes away. Well, we got there, beautiful campsite. We'll talk about that in a second. But we got there, we dropped our trailer, and no sooner did we put that trailer down and get the car away, but it started sprinkling, and that turned into a downpour.
Major downpour. It was like, oh my God.
We put our ponchos on, so good move on your part. Shirley brought some ponchos and an extra tarp. Well, we put the ponchos on and we did our setup, but it didn't stop, did it?
No.
I mean, it started at about noon. Was it noon? We got there about?
Yeah, about that.
And it didn't stop until, 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. In fact, we set the camper up, got inside the camper, and took a nap because there was nothing else you could do. It was downpouring. And the key aspect of that is that although the sites drain very well, it did, puddle up about 2-3 inches of rain right below, where we were camping. But then it drains out. So check the weather forecast. And I think the other big thing for people, if they're going to Fort De Soto, which again is gorgeous, is the fact that there's 3 different areas where you could camp. Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so they have, I think it's just called simply Area 1, Area 2, and Area 3. And this is a very difficult camping park to get into. So you got to plan ahead and, really look out to the future there. So we were actually fortunate. We did find that one spot only like 3 weeks out, but I know how difficult. So, but it has those 3 areas, one of which is right on the, I guess you call it the bay or the Gulf, right? One has a pet-friendly area, and then one is combined. I think it's pet and any type of camping unit. So we ended up in the pet area because it was the
Area 2.
Area 2. Thank you. Area 2. And it was a little crazy. Dale and I are huge animal lovers. We've had 2 dogs before, unfortunately senior and passed on, and we have a cat, and animals don't bother us. But when you're in a campground and you've got lots of people with dogs, and the barking starts because somebody walked by with their dog, and then that dog barks, and then it just spreads.
And then the owners are all going, no, stop, Fido, stop. And so you have the owners getting involved. It gets a little crazy. So if you love pets or you have a pet, go to Area 2. However, if you don't, then I highly recommend Area 3. Now, Area 1, which are sites 1 through 85, if I recall correctly. And by the way, we wrote a blog post, and you can see in the description below this video that you can click a link and go read all about this with pictures and the map of the campgrounds and so forth. But 1 through 85, sites 1 through 85 are in Area 1. And although there isn't a bad campsite in Fort De Soto campgrounds, these are the least, I think, of the 3 areas. The Area 1's the least desirable.
Correct.
Simply because they're not, although you have some water views at times, there's a lot of mangroves, and you're not on the water. You're pretty far distant from the water. Area 2 that we were in had some really nice views, but some had mangroves, some didn't. Some you could launch your kayak right into the water from your campsite, which was really cool. but you had the dog thing. But Area 3,
The bomb.
and we rode our bikes all through these 3 areas so that we could report to you all. But Area 3 is really super nice. On one side is a waterway, kind of sort of in towards the land waterway, but still absolutely gorgeous. And then it goes around a point, and the point is spectacular. That's like sites 201 through 206, 200 to 207, something like that.
Yeah, in the low 200s.
Yeah.
And the website, when you're reserving, does give you pictures. Now, there's not a lot of pictures, but you'll see those sites and the big difference in the water view and being right at the edge of the water. Not like your campers at the edge, but you have no space, between. It's pretty awesome.
It is awesome. And and one thing I saw in other reviews about Fort De Soto is they talked about a lack of privacy, and we really didn't feel that at all. Yes, the sites are right next to each other, but you would find that in most campgrounds. But there's vegetation in between the sites. I mean, we certainly saw the campers on either side, but I didn't feel like there wasn't privacy.
No, I mean, the sites are narrow, and we did have, the trees, and one side had a little less than the other, but their camper back is to where our front area is. So it really wasn't an issue for us. And when we rode our bikes and saw the other sites, there's plenty of privacy. There's maybe a couple sites that like you're super open, but no, I say that the privacy was good.
And going back to what you said about the not being as well maintained as some of the state parks we've been to, the other factor in terms of the person driving into the campsite with the trailer is there's a lot of potholes in the road. So go very carefully if you're pulling a trailer or driving your RV, and for sure if you're tent camping it won't bother you so much, but when you're pulling a trailer you've got that bounce going on, and there are a lot of potholes. Number one, because maybe the roads haven't been maintained quite as well, but also the rain. I mean, they get a lot of rain down there on the coast and so forth, so there's that aspect. But go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, because the roads are dirt and not paved.
Yeah, for sure. But the bathrooms are plentiful. I mean, we actually had 2 shower bathrooms that were very close to us. They're clean, well maintained. We saw the campsite host. I talked with her and so forth, so they do a nice job. So all in all, spectacular. I mean, in fact, we came home and we reserved to go back in November, didn't we?
Right, and we got a better water site this time.
But for 3 nights this time.
Correct.
Yeah, we've come to the conclusion, just in camping in general, whether it's this place or another, is that 2 nights isn't enough. We really want to be down there 3 nights to really unwind and really relax and kind of experience the outdoors and just relaxation, right?
Yeah, that 1 extra day is huge because your check-in is typically not till 1. I know we got there at 12 and was able to get in. And so we got there on Thursday, 1 o'clock. You got half a day there, and then you got Friday, and then you're packing up in the morning on Saturday and you're leaving. So that 1 extra night makes a huge difference.
Yeah, it absolutely does. Now, so that's the campgrounds. Campgrounds are really cool. There's a lot of biking that you can do throughout the campgrounds, for sure. Kayaking all over the place, boating all over the place. But you also have the added benefit when you go to Fort De Soto to go to the park.
Right.
So you can drive there. Certainly, it's a few miles down the road, but you also can rent bikes right in the campgrounds
and rent kayaks.
And you can rent kayaks too. But if you want to ride your bike, they've got a wide paved bike trail from the campgrounds to the park, and the park is awesome. And we've been to the park before.
Right.
And they've got 2 fishing piers. They've got miles and miles of beach. They've got both paved bike trails and dirt bike trails, throughout. Hiking, pretty cool. And they got the fort too. They've got the actual old fort built in 1898. I looked that up for the Spanish-American War to protect our coast. So really, really awesome if you got the kids, take the kids. But even if you don't have kids, go there yourself and just enjoy. I mean, it's a really, really nice area.
Yeah, the beach area is beautiful. You can rent kayaks there and bikes there as well. So that's in addition to, and it's just a beautiful area, like
Yeah.
the piers to be able to walk, and it's miles of biking you can do.
Yeah, because we didn't even bike the whole thing. You can actually go further down and then take a right along this peninsula of land and go all the way to the tip, which is North Beach. So you can. There's much things to do when you go to Fort De Soto Park. But what a great campground, and overall, and we are definitely going back. So anything else you want to share? Oh, I would like to tell them about the griddle.
The griddle?
The griddle. I was so excited. We got this griddle. Tell them about the griddle.
Maybe because I cook every single day. It wasn't as exciting for me, but it is pretty awesome. So Dale was awesome to use the griddle. We just bought it. And we do have that in our article. In that article. It is in our article, specifically which one that we got. And it really makes a difference. Like, we have an inside stove, which is small in the camper. And then we have a typical tabletop grill, which, has the great grill on top. And then the griddle came, and it really is awesome because you can cook anything on it. Breakfast was huge to do that with the bacon and potatoes. And yeah, you definitely got to look at getting a griddle.
And then the other really cool thing I like that you bought for this trip was the trash can holder or the trash bag holder. It's plastic, lightweight. You're going, what is this thing, right? But you set it up and it works great, right? To hold your bag.
I literally said to Dale, this is the best purchase outside of the griddle that I've ever made. And it pieces together. So it's compact, it's super lightweight, so great for the camper, and it sets up awesome to put your trash bag in it. And you don't have your bag spilling over, worried about where to put it or hang it and so forth.
Keeps your campsite neat, clean, whatever, and so you'll see both of those things in the article. So This is Dale and Shirley Guiducci, Lifestyle Over 50. That's Fort De Soto. Next up, we're going to, is it Little Manatee? Lake Manatee. We're going to Lake Manatee here in another couple of weeks, and we'll be reporting back to you about Lake Manatee Campground in Florida. State Park in Florida, right?
State Park.
Lake Manatee State Park. So have a great day, and hopefully this was helpful. Have fun camping. Bye, everybody.
See y'all soon.